Shop Plato's Closet tax-free August 2nd through 4th for back-to-school styles. We sell the trendy, gently used styles you need to make a difference in the world and in your wallet for back-to-school shopping. Save up to 70% off regular retail prices by choosing recycled styles. Save even more when you shop tax-free this weekend. Make a change that others can respect and repeat. Shop Plato's Closet in North Charleston and West Ashley this year for your back-to-school looks. Plato's Closet, located in West Ashley on Sam Rittenberg Boulevard and North Charleston on Rivers Avenue.
The 3 Down Greencast is brought to you by the Pile of Bones Brewing Company. New taproom now open at Sass Drive and Cameron in Regina. Welcome to the 3 Down Greencast. Joel Gasson with John Fraser as usual. And it's going to be a little bit of a different episode today for obvious reasons. As we all are very aware kind of what's going on in the world right now. So I'm not going to go on some big preachy thing about what you should be doing right now. I think everyone is well aware that we should be staying home and washing our hands and the whole thing of that regard right now. So
can I drop the first F-bomb in 3 Down Greencast history?
I think you already did once before.
I think I did, but you censored it out. But can I just do it right now off the top?
Sure.
Stay the fuck home. It's pretty simple. Do that. Yeah. Do that. It's like our my great-grandfather had to go to Germany and fight in World War II. We're being asked to help save the world by sitting on our asses listening to podcasts and playing video games. So, yes, Canada, just stay the fuck home.
That's pretty much it. And, of course, physical distancing, as it's now being called, is probably a more apt term for it. Also very important if you do happen to get out. And I can assure you that, as we always have, this podcast is all about physical distancing. As I have it open on Google Maps right now, John and I are exactly 261 kilometers apart from each other.
There is zero chance we are catching anything from each other. And every time we get the idea, every weekend we do hang out together. Mm-hmm. We're like, yeah, maybe we're going to record. And then one of us ends up usually too sleepy, too hungover. We just go, screw it, I'll call you on Skype on Tuesday.
Yeah, that's pretty much how that always ends up. So we're going to do something a little different off the top here. As you know, here on the 3 Down Greencast, we are very much supporters of local businesses, especially of a certain industry. But
yes.
It's going to be more than about craft beer right now. We will get into craft beer in a second, of course, though. And I think it's more important than ever right now. And this is just a little bit us using our tiny little platform of 5 people to listen to us on a regular basis to implore all of you to, as much as you can, support the businesses in our respective communities, whether you're listening here in Regina or Saskatoon, somewhere else in Saskatchewan, or maybe somewhere else in Canada. The businesses we may be talking about, we're going to talk about here for a couple of minutes, may not directly apply to you, but the idea can be applied to your community wherever you happen to be listening. As I think it's more important than ever right now that as much as you can, you support your local businesses.
Mm-hmm.
No one's asking you to change your budgets and start spending more money or anything like that. No one's even asking you to spend 100% of your dollars locally. But I mean, if you can, that's great. We understand in some circumstances that's a little more expensive, and given the situation some people are in right now, that can be difficult. So I understand that. Hey, I still go to Costco as much as I love local business because there's some things I need like 1,000 of.
Yes,
and that's
absolutely.
the place to do it. So,
absolutely, yes. No, you're totally right, and I think, and at the end of the day, you're right. We're all, and I mean, I've been making jokes about it on Twitter about being fun employed, but I mean, I am a victim of this as anybody else is. I mean, I was laid off on Friday from the car business, and there are several people like me in that same boat, and I'm assuming a lot of our listeners are probably in that same boat, or at the very least uncertain about what their future holds, or what their job is going to hold, or what next week, tomorrow, what anything is going to look like, right? But the way I look at it is, I don't have the dough to order out 3 nights a week.
No.
But that one night a week that I don't feel like playing Chef Dad, I'm making sure that if I'm ordering some pie, it's from a place here in town that's locally owned and locally run. Yep. I know your franchisees are also local business people, but let's look at mom and pop. Let's look at those places that have started from the bottom. I was sad to see Leopold shut down across the province.
Yep.
I get why they're doing it.
Across Western Canada, basically, actually.
Yeah, exactly. And I mean, that's a great local franchise. We know so many of them. But yeah, if you're like me, that Sunday night I've been cooking all week, I don't feel like cooking. Maybe before you order that spicy pierogi from Boston Pizza, you take a look a little bit deeper. Look at, family pizza. I know I'm a big fan here in Saskatoon, Cuckoo's Pizza, your favorite Vietnamese place.
Which I can vouch for, as we devoured an entire fairly large pizza at the Saskatoon Men's Bonspiel.
Holy crap, did we ever.
After numerous beers.
That's right. Numerous local beers that we got snuck to us, and then Cuckoo's Pizza. So I know I think on the Saturday, Sunday here, I'm gonna be ordering myself some Cuckoo's. I don't have the budget to do it as often as I'd like to, but want to support some local business. So make sure you are doing the same. Again, everybody's in the same spot. Let's all help each other. Let's all support each other, and you know what? We're gonna get through this all together.
Yeah, I mean, we're pretty much in the same boat down here. Jenny's got a great job where she's going to be continuing to getting paid pretty good money, so we're not hurting in any kind of way like that. I do most of the cooking throughout the week. I've trimmed it down to kind of the bare essentials right now, keeping it pretty simple rather than these extravagant more meal plans I used to have before. Right now, I just don't really want to spend that much time in a grocery store, to be honest, trying to find ingredients I don't normally buy. So it's like, hey, I'm just going to grab what I know we use a lot of and just figure it out from there. But yeah, my plan at least is to try at least once a week or so to order something in or take something out from a local business to give them a few bucks on the side there to try and help them through the best we can, because this is not obviously going to be easy for a lot of people, and I think the small local businesses will be the hardest hit. The big guys, they'll take their hit too, but in the long run, they'll still be fine.
No, absolutely, and again, using our small little platform here, I know being in the car business, like I said, I'm fun employed, as I've been calling it, because it was largely at my own discretion that I took a voluntary layoff to, Lacey is still going into work. She works for an essential service, much like Jenny does. I'm at home with kids, and I couldn't be happier, spending some time. So I want to give a couple quick nods at the cap. First off, to speaking of local Affinity Credit Union, there's something to be said about banking with a local credit union. I've heard horror stories of people who've been on hold with TD, RBC, the big banks, for 2-3 hours trying to get a solution came up in these tough times. And meanwhile, I sent one email to my Affinity rep, and it was, boom, here's a solution. We got you guys taken care of. It's all good, right? And two, as well, coming from the car business, I think if you wrote off your car yesterday, if your car is just not working and it's not what you need, you can still go buy a car. Dealerships are skeleton staffed. You have to pass a questionnaire before coming in the doors. But, if you still need a vehicle, go out and get it. I won't be able to help you, but that's probably for the best, because if you know me from the podcast, you probably wouldn't want to be talking about your credit and life insurance with me. So now's the time to go get one, right? So it's just that option's still there. That's an industry that's hurting, but yeah. We're gonna get through it. I mean, I'm an optimist, believe it or not, at my core, despite what I generally say on this podcast. But we're gonna get through it, and I think come the Grey Cup in Regina, I think we're all gonna be having, it's gonna be a shitty time leading up to it, but I think by then, we should be having a beer together, and all things will be fine. And if not, I'll just, give me a hazmat suit so I can stay up in what is now your wife's office there, Joel.
Yes, I am now recording out of the once was studio that is now the third bedroom in our house, but also her office from home. So if you are looking specifically for, kind of food takeout in your community and delivery, you can actually head onto Facebook. There's a group called Food Takeout and Delivery in Saskatchewan during COVID-19. Lots of posts going up there all the time about kind of who's doing what. There's also like a master spreadsheet in there that you can open up and kind of look by community to see kind of what you're looking for, to make sure you're getting the information that you want, to see who's kind of delivering, who's doing takeout, to throw a couple of bucks their way and help people as they can.
No, certainly. And I know we've, especially some of the favorite breweries of this podcast, of course, one of them being our sponsor, Pile of Bones, is doing home delivery in Regina. Yeah. Another big supporter of ours, that being 9 Mile Legacy up here in Saskatoon. 9 Mile, if you're calling in advance or emailing, they'll either drop it at your front doorstep, or you can swing by the store. They'll leave it outside for you. You just make payment arrangements. It's all good. So I know myself, once I run out of the current beers that I'm drinking, including what I'm drinking tonight, that we'll get to in a bit, I know I'm going to be sending an email to our good friends Adam and the rest of the crew at 9 Mile, get myself some fresh stuff literally dropped off my doorstep. How can you go wrong?
Absolutely. So if you haven't heard yet, the Pile of Bones Brewing Company, friends of this show, sponsors of the show, have set up a delivery service called Sask Beer Delivery. Currently only available in Regina, so if you're listening in Regina, this can apply to you. You can get all kinds of local beer: Blackbridge, Nokomis, Rebellion, District, High Key, Multinational. All these guys are on there to order their beer, but they also have lots of spirits from Last Mountain and Lucky Bastard. And they have some mead, and they even have some kombucha from Good Spirit as well, if that's your thing. And I believe you can also add on, I don't know if it's through that website directly or not, but you can add on the Mexican place there in Malincha. They have lots of great food there as well. They've made these great little takeout kits to make like your own tacos, and I believe you can even make the nachos at home now, which their nachos are absolutely incredible. So 100% order that if you can. If you're up in Saskatoon, haven't heard a whole lot going on that way outside of 9 Mile in terms of delivery, but I do believe that District Brewing is doing delivery of basically all the same stuff the saskbeerdelivery.com is, but just through them. So if you check on District's website, if you're in Saskatoon, I believe you can get stuff delivered straight to your door there as well.
Yeah, I'm going to have to look that up. Like I said, I know I'm going to be hitting up our friends at 9 Mile and check out what District has to offer, see if I can get myself some more Pile of Bones at the Mabele.
And of course, we would be remiss if we didn't give a special shout out to basically all of the local distillers, even the one who shan't be named. They're all making hand sanitizer right now. I've seen in Saskatoon, Lucky Bastard and Stubbletown have come together for kind of a collab to do that. They're providing theirs to first responders as well, which is amazing. And I believe Last Mountain here is doing the same as well. They've been working on that, and there's been a few others. I believe Black Fox might have started that as well. I'm not 100% sure on that, though. Yeah,
Black Fox, I know I'm a fan of their stuff. I actually have I picked up a bottle, speaking of local distillers, picked up a bottle of Lucky Bastard's Rush Dill Pickle Vodka. I've had dill pickle vodkas before. I'm a big Caesar guy. I can make a banging Caesar. And normally I find with normal dill pickle vodkas, you still need to add some dill pickle juice. This stuff is off the hook. This stuff is, I've made some of the strongest Caesars I've made in my life after grabbing a bottle of this. So, if you're not a beer person and you're listening to all this, Lucky Bastard, A, like you said, they are supplying hand sanitizer to first responders, and B, their shit's just real good too.
Mm-hmm. Last Mountain's Dill Pickle Caesar vodka is really good as well. So, all of that.
I feel like a little blind taste test is in order next time I'm in Regina.
Yeah, they're very different styles of them. We'll put it that way. So yeah, moral of the story: no matter what you're into, there's a local alternative for that. I mean, even if you're just into like food, groceries, making your own stuff at home. I know in Regina, Fresh and Local, I believe they're called. They're like a local delivery service. They source all kinds of local products for you to get delivered to your house. So if you're a foodie and want to cook some local food at home, there's options for that as well. So whatever you're into, coffee, I mean, you can get Caliber, I believe, here in Regina, delivered to your house now as well. Is there one up in Saskatoon?
Not off the top of my head. I don't think I've seen them because I know that they are... I know that they've thrown some bucks behind the Rod Peterson show, so I've been looking here in the city and haven't found them because that's how they caught my eye, was sponsoring Rod and Darren.
Yeah, their coffee's outstanding. Really good stuff.
Yeah. Interesting.
So yeah, whatever you're into, you can find it.
Next time it's in a care package. Once quarantine's over, care package. Next time you're coming up, Joel.
Absolutely. So as we always do, we're not even really going to talk about football in this episode. We're going to be the football podcast that does not talk about football because I think right now football is kind of irrelevant. But we're kind of going to talk about football a little bit, but not in the way you think we're going to talk about football.
Oh no, you'll love it. If you know us, and you're a fan of our Embrace the Dumb philosophy since January 1st, you're going to love how we're going to talk about football.
Mm-hmm. So, yeah, we're going to talk a little bit about that, and I mean, John's going to talk about kids shows, and I think we're going to talk a little bit about quarantine snacks because I think that's kind of been one of the upsides to all this is we were basically back into kind of Christmas eating mode, just by ourselves. But as usual, before we get to all that, because we have to have some semblance of normalcy on this podcast, John, what's in the glass this week?
Well, after the care package of a whole bunch of Northern Ontario beers, I went out the other day to the liquor store before shit really hit the fan, and sometimes you just go with what you love. When you're not sure if you're going to be able to go out and get it again, pick myself up a 4-pack of Pile of Bones White IPA. We all know, if you've listened to this podcast before, this beer is my jam. I've been drinking it through most of our episodes, so yet again, here I am with probably my favorite local beer, that being the POB White IPA.
Yeah, see, I have a lot of that in the house right now when I thought about it, but then I saw your video of you attempting the obstacle course that you made for Max, and I saw you were drinking a White IPA, so I'm like, no, I'm going to drink something else that I have less of, and we're going to talk about that obstacle course in a second here. But for me, I think right now, these times call for something a little stronger, a little maltier, a little heavier. So I'm going with the Space Cadet IPA from Pile of Bones.
Yes, very good as well. Yes.
Yes, it's a solid, just kind of a little rougher around the edges kind of beer that's good for this time. That's with everything we're dealing with. I've yet to buy a bottle of whiskey, though. I've been tempted. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, I hate to admit it. You can call me basic. I've gone through, in about a week of quarantine, I've gone through 2 bottles of Pink Whitney.
Ugh, no.
It's.
I tried it. I couldn't do it. It just was way too much for me.
I cut it with some water or some club soda, and it's my token. See, now I have an understanding when I would come home from work back in the day, and Lacey was on mat leave, and basically she'd just be like, "Here's the 2 kids." Now when she comes home from work, and it's like, here's the boys. I'm grabbing alcohol now, so I've gone through a good chunk of that here over the past couple days, and it's been a week, so I've had a couple bottles of that. So don't judge me for that. And it was suggested that I try the brewery or the distillery that shall not be named version of that, but I'm holding out. I will pay more money to a large corporation rather than supporting. Although they're making hand sign. I'm going to end up with a bottle of it, aren't I, Joel?
I hope not. If you're looking for the alternative, Last Mountain has made one as well with their local vodka.
Oh, have they? Oh, fantastic!
Yes. I don't know where if it's widely available or not, but they did make one. They did make like a pink lemonade vodka thing with their sort of their discount brand vodka that they make. So
fantastic! I have to find that.
Mm-hmm. So you made an obstacle course for your child.
I did, yes, because of a small toe procedure, we can't go outside and like run around in the snow or anything like that. And Connor, when he gets in a snowsuit, Connor's my youngest. He can't move, so he doesn't like being outside. So Lacey sent me a link on Facebook to an obstacle course for my child. She's like, "Hey, you should do this for Max," and I'm like, "Oh, this is a great idea. We'll mix in some sports. It'll be great. He'll have a blast." And And then some people suggested on Twitter I should try it myself.
And then what happened?
My 4-year-old son kicked my ass.
I mean, it was kind of a given, just because I'll be honest, I didn't really watch Max doing it that closely because I figured he'd nail it.
He did.
But then when I saw you told me to go to Twitter, and I checked and saw that you had done it, and then I saw how tiny most of it actually was because it was built for a child. I was like, oh, this is going to be entertaining. Especially you trying to squeeze through that little tunnel under the blanket.
So people that haven't seen it on my Twitter or my Instagram.
Because podcasting is a visual medium, right? So let's,
Exactly. So I'm going to go back to my play-by-play days, and I had created, so Max starts on a slide, and then it goes through a very narrow space, like a comfortable 4-year-old size space, betwixt my coffee table and my couch. I'd put a blanket over there and dubbed it the Cave of Doom. So then he has to jump over my my ottoman, like the footstool, score a goal into a mini stick net, throw a football to me. Then he has to go across my Toronto Raptors putting mat. He has to skip.
Hang on for a second. I saw that when I was at your place. For some reason, I thoroughly enjoyed that you had a Toronto Raptors putting mat.
Oh, yes. Yeah.
What's the most random thing I'd ever seen?
It was from I bought it for Lacey's family does a gift exchange every year. Mm-hmm. She found it at Winners. It was $40. The gift exchange limit's $50, so I did that in a small bottle of whiskey, like a Mickey O'Wiser's, and it was perfect. And actually, before I went to Puerto Vallarta, I practice my putting on there. So yeah, no, especially in these indoor times, I'm glad I have it. So I've now converted it to a part of Max's obstacle course. So he knows when he sees that, he has to skip because he's in Ukrainian dance, and that's part of it. He has to learn how to skip. Then he has to perfectly form tackle our giant teddy bear from Costco and slam dunk a basketball to win the obstacle course. So I posted this on Twitter. You know, I was mostly so my followers could get a good laugh out of Max having a good time, and he's giggling, he's laughing the whole time, and it was just fun. It kind of warms the heart. And then it'd be fun. People can take a look at it, right? So a couple of Twitter followers. I know for sure Ferlin from the Piffles podcast, a couple friends of mine from my Hilltops play-by-play days were like, listen, you got to give this a try. We want to see the video you doing this. So Lacey gets home, and Lacey right now is working communications at a credit union, so her job is not very easy. It's very stressful. And I say to her, she pours herself a glass of wine. I said, Lacey, I need a favor. She goes, what? I said, I need you to record a race between Max and I on his obstacle course. And Max is all pumped. I'm going to race Daddy. So, yeah, we do. If you haven't seen the video, my fat ass cannot handle the slide he starts on or the tiny little tunnel. And then the worst thing is he throws the football, which he's supposed to throw to me, and then he had left me another ball to throw. I had no idea. I broke my own rules of the obstacle course. I had to go back. It was an unmitigated shit show. I broke the rules. On Twitter, my friend Jeff Goddard from our Honda store had said, you should have been disqualified for doing this. You messed it up. I'm like, I don't know the humiliation of my son sitting there for a solid half of the video going, I won, Daddy, I won.
And the best part of it is this isn't one of those situations where it's like dad throws game to let son win. Like, you just legitimately couldn't handle it.
No, that kid legitimately beat me. So you texted me and said it'd be great to see other competitions that Max could beat you in, and I feel like that might become a thing.
Yes.
Because I feel like the only thing, you know, I love my sons to death, but I will never I'm not that dad that will let them win at Mario Kart. The other things I'll let them win at, but Mario Kart, no. That is the thing that I'm going to win at. So, Max is surprisingly accurate with a football, with a little foam football we caught at a Ryder game once. Yeah, so I figure he can probably beat me in an accuracy throwing competition. So that might be next. More ways that my kid can embarrass me.
It's all about the content, right? So, I mean, that's where we're at right now. Is you got to pump these videos out, give the people what they want.
That's fair though. A friend of mine, after seeing that, though, he's like, please tell me you're not becoming a family vlogger. I'm like, don't worry. I am not. For at least 2 more weeks.
And then, if the money's there, then maybe.
It does. It's true. It really, I mean, I am unemployed. I need something to do. I'm a professional podcaster right now. And
which is not paying you very much. So
no, it doesn't pay me anything except for beer. So, which is essential at this time, but doesn't pay the mortgage.
So in sort of the idea of giving the people what they want and entertaining and content, that's kind of why we're here. So I put out the tweet saying, hey, what other dumb stuff do you want us to talk about on this podcast this week? Because that's basically what this whole thing is we're just trying to entertain and be ourselves and not really talk about anything in particular. So with that in mind, we got some. We're going to get to one in a second where we were asked about in the vein of CFL 2.0, kind of our favorite European or I guess world international football team names. We found some good ones. I think John each picked our favorite, and then I'm gonna make John play a little game, and we'll see how he does after that.
Yes.
But before that, you were asked. We were asked, but I didn't know because I don't have a child.
Any children's show that I have, like, I've developed theories on. One is Paw Patrol. Max is out of the Paw Patrol phase. Connor is just entering it, but. Yeah, I wonder. So, Paw Patrol, in summary, there's a bunch of puppies that talk, and they all have like crazy robot technology stuff, all led by a 10-year-old kid. There are no parents on the island. Adventure Bay. I don't know how it's an island in a bay, but that doesn't matter. Maybe there's a thoroughfare or something. Maybe there's a service road. But yeah, it's. I have sat there wondering, and I've had this discussion with other dads of mine, dad friends of mine, going, how on earth does he get the money? How on earth does a 10-year-old child have the money to fund all this? And I have only one theory, Joel Gasson.
Mm-hmm.
Ryder is actually Walter White's kid. All the meth money he made went to this 10-year-old kid. He was able to develop super smart talking robots or talking pets or pay somebody to do that. All the technology he came up with, and he lives on an island to protect his identity, and everybody else is paid to be there just so his kid can have a normal, what he seems life. That, or the more tragic one, he's in a coma from getting punched in the head or something, and this is all in his mind. Either way, that's my theory on Paw Patrol, but
or it's a
Paw
kids,
Patrol,
or it's a kids program. It doesn't have to make sense. I mean,
right.
That's probably the most likely answer.
Which is the most likely answer. However, there's another show I want to discuss.
Mm.
And it's actually one I enjoy quite a bit too, because it's kind of, it's almost that SpongeBob SquarePants, like off the wall kind of humor. That is a Netflix show, if you are parents listening to this, called Pinky Malinky. Good, clean fun, bright animations, 12-minute episodes, which is great when you're putting your kid to bed and you say you can watch one more. Boom, 12 minutes into the bedtimes. You're welcome, fellow parents.
Doesn't sound like something you should look up on Urban Dictionary, though.
No, it doesn't. Just look it up on Netflix. So, Pinky Malinky, he is a talking hot dog in a world of humans.
So, like the G-rated version of Sausage Party?
Not really, because weirdly enough, that Pinky, he's the only talking food item. The rest of them eat food like normal, but yet Pinky also has super sausage powers. He can transform and expand and contract and do all sorts of weird stuff. All in all, it's a very good show, but how on earth does and he's got a mom and dad. What happened that his mom gave birth to a talking magical hot dog?
Cocaine's a hell of a drug, man.
I that's all I can think of is maybe there's the only theory I can go on is maybe there was one of those parties where everybody wears the musks and somebody mistook a bag of Harvest Wieners for a party guest.
Or someone, or the father used, for some reason, hot dog casing as a condom. And it broke, clearly, because it wasn't going to work. And then they kind of morphed together. And she got pregnant. I've ruined the show for you now, haven't I?
Yes, you have! Oh my god. I never thought of that angle, but I love it. Oh shit, Cass.
See, I had no idea what show you're going to talk about as you're talking about this. And you brought that question up, I was like, huh.
The best part is, the theme song says super friendly hot dog wiener. That's part of Oh boy.
I hope no one's listening to this with their kids that watches that show.
Oh. That or they gotta explain what a condom is.
Ooh, looks like we're having the talk a little early.
Oh, okay, my kids are not listening to this edition of the podcast.
I mean, they should never listen to our podcast, but...
No, they don't. They'd be way too bored. Max didn't even want to listen to the episode that Max was on. Oh, shit. Oh, that's as good as British curling, I guess. That's a good one.
Yeah.
Oh.
I'm pretty proud of myself over that
well,
one, yeah, I don't think I've ever made you laugh, legitimately laugh that hard.
Oh my gosh, no. Not, I mean, a couple of times during the men's bond spiel, but never on the podcast before. No, the worst part is the boys are going to want to watch that tomorrow, and I might just die. I might just roll over and die while watching Pinky. I'll have to send you a photo of Pinky Malinky. Because you just ruined it for me. Oh, shit.
I don't know. There's no way to turn out of that, so let's just move on.
Good idea.
The other question we were asked, who I was teased it, we were asked about favorite international football team names. As CFL 2.0 is, of course, spanning the globe, trying to find the best players from around the world to join the CFL.
Right.
So, for once, both of us actually did a little bit of research beforehand. So, John, what is the name that you found that you've grown quite fond of?
The Delhi Cowbells. I as soon as I got that tweet, I'm like, I need to find what this is. And as soon as I see the cow, I'm a big fan of the SNL skit. You know, I got a fever for more cowbells. So seeing the new Delhi Cowbells, that just like could you imagine like I just picture the players in a bar walking up, like trying to impress the ladies. Hey, baby, I'm the quarterback for the Cowbells. You want to get some?
You want to ring my bell? You need some more cowbell in your life?
Do you got a fever for more cowbell?
I don't know if it's fair fun to joke about fevers right now.
That's fair. Is that offside right now?
It might be. I don't know.
That's fair. I dropped 2 F-bombs off the start of this, but I think that might have been more offside. But yeah, looking through, now see, I plan to look more through this throughout the day, as I know you did. Yes. You were texting me some great names, but of course, your dog parenting, you know, with Mo and Jenny's upstairs in her office. Well, I'm parenting, and didn't have the time to do all the research I wanted, but I understand.
Yes, but I need to talk about the name I like first of all.
Okay, yes, please.
I mean, to be fair, none of these are the Nebraska Danger or the Louisiana Swashbucklers. Like we knew that. That's at the very top of our list of team names. When you're talking, we take geography completely out of the question.
That's
from
right.
our boy,
well, of course.
Ernesto Laqueo. Rest in peace, XFL.
That's right.
It'll be back next year. I'm pretty confident on that one, actually.
Oh, yeah.
So I found a team name, and I don't even know if I can pronounce it. It's basically, in English, it's like the provincial region of Austria is the lower, the southwestern quarter of Austria is called this area. It's like Most Viderel or something. Most Viderel, I don't know. Anyway, it's kind of taken away for a minute, but they're the Most Viderel Bastards is their name.
The Bastards.
Which I thought that was pretty good. You know, it's a little different. I found this web link from like 2016, so some of these teams might not exist. And boy, there's a lot more football teams in Europe than I thought there was. Because this was a list, and I think I sent you the link of like all these teams, and they're broken down by country, and it included college and like developmental leagues, and the whole thing is that. So it's like basically every team that has ever existed in some degree, or does still exist, that has various levels of American/Canadian football in Europe. It's on this web list. It is awful to look at because they're in big blobs, so sometimes you get lost where you're looking, but they're all there.
No, and that's fair. And it was right around the time you sent me that list that Connor blew out his first diaper of the day, so I didn't really get a chance to go back to that list.
Mm-hmm. So I'm trying to find... So some of the other names I thought that were quite interesting on this list were the Limburg Shotguns, the Bath Killer Bees. They're for the University of Bath in England. The Helsinki 69ers. Yeah. Nice.
That is that's a nice team right there.
Absolutely. And because I thought it was kind of funny, ironic in a way, the Nokia Ghost Hunters, because Nokia is basically a ghost now. Yeah.
It's fair. Although I feel like if I needed something to hunt a ghost or to strike somebody over the head with, it would be a Nokia phone from back in the early 2000s.
Something like that. So
yes.
Now to close out this podcast, this episode of the 3 Down Greencast, as a friend of the show, CBC's Dan Plaster did to me when he made me answer questions about whether sports movies had won an Oscar or not, because it was around Oscar time when life was somewhat normal back then when we recorded that episode.
Right.
And things were happening in the world besides COVID-19.
Right.
I'm going to put you through a little bit of a quiz here, John Fraser.
Okay. I'm ready, Joel.
I have 10 potential names for teams in Europe.
Okay.
Some of them are real. Some of them are fake.
Okay.
We are going to see how many you can get correct.
Okay. And again, to our listeners, I did not have time to look at this list that Joel has alluded to before doing this.
I didn't even tell John that we were doing this until we got on the phone. So
it's true. And then I managed to crush 2 more tall boys of white IPA. So we'll see how this goes.
Okay. So the first one, the Tron Steel Sharks.
I'm gonna say not a real thing. Just because Tron sounds too fake and it funkin' blows.
I don't know if I was pronouncing that right, but they are actually a real team in Austria.
What? The Tron Steel Sharks.
Traun, Steel Sharks, all one word, capital S, capital S.
And I bet you they funkin' blow.
Maybe. All right. Second one. The Castle Room Cavaliers.
Oh, boy. Castle Room sounds like a thing you'd pay $300 a night for, and it would have a hot tub in the room, and it somehow made its way to be some sort of British city. I'm going to say it's real.
That one is fake.
Okay. I am 0 for 2.
0 for 2. You can still get 80% on this, so there's still a chance if you get in a roll here.
Let's go.
All right. How about the Ballylick Badgers?
The Ballylick Badgers.
Ballylick Badgers. Ballylick.
Huh. I don't feel like you take, I don't think you'd take enough time to like fool me with actually spelling and stuff like that. And Badgers is a common, common theme. Ballylick feels like it could be a real thing, like a Newfoundland name. I know it's not Newfoundland. I know it's Europe. I'm gonna.
All these cities do it.
Ballylick Badger.
It was fake. All these cities do actually exist. I found a website where you can like randomly pick names of cities from regions.
No, okay.
The cities are real. I'm saying if they're real teams or not.
Well, shit.
Yeah.
You're really going full Inception on me here. You're going to like another level of making this up for me. But
I'm not smart enough to make up city names. Like, and really, in England and Europe, you don't even have to make up these names. They actually exist. So.
Well, and that's what I thought. I thought for sure there'd be a Ballylick Badgers. I thought that would be some like Welsh team or something out there.
No.
All right, 0 for 3.
Yeah. The Sofia Bulldozers.
Okay. I feel like Bulldozers could definitely be like, there's probably like a local Caterpillar dealership. Like, I feel like if my dad was ever in charge of a Caterpillar dealership, he's instead a Caterpillar mechanic, he would definitely sponsor a team, and he would make them name themselves the Bulldozers or the Putt-Putts, because that's what he calls a backhoe. So I'm going to go, that is a real thing.
Correct.
Ha-ha! Got one right!
They play football in Bulgaria.
Bulgaria has a football league?
And there's a few of them. There's one country. There's only one area that only had one team. Unfortunately, I closed the website, so I don't know which one it was. But there was one area that only had one team. I think Estonia. Estonia had like one team, and that was it. And everyone else had a bunch of teams.
I wonder if I could go like play like quarterback for one of those teams and make more than I'm making on EI right now.
Probably not, because no one's playing over there either.
That's fair. That's fair. So there goes my dream of my COVID job.
No. All right, let's go with the Leeds Tornadoes.
I know Leeds is a real city. Tornadoes, a bit of a basic name. But I feel like it could be a thing, which would make no sense because I don't feel like tornadoes are prevalent in Europe. You know what? I'm going to say this one's fake because of the tornadoes. I feel like that's not a thing that's over there. I don't feel like they'd steal a natural disaster from from large parts of North America and bring it over to Europe.
Well, you're wrong. They're real.
Ah, crap!
I thought you were getting there. I thought you were talking yourself into it being right, and then you talked yourself out of it being real. Yeah.
No, that's I do that a lot to myself.
All right. How about the Duncross Seahorses?
Okay. A seahorse is like it's a thing. It's in the ocean that gives birth, and there's nothing harder than giving birth. I feel like that makes it like sneaky tough. Like I feel like you have to read into it, but you're like, okay, you're a seahorse, you're tough. I'm going to say it's real.
It's fake.
All right, I am 1 for 5. 1 for 5. All right. It's like me at the bar back in the day. Let's keep going here.
All right, how about the Split Sea Wolves?
Okay. Split sounds like the kind of place that would be split between land and sea. So, it makes sense that they'd have sea and wolves, because, like, wolves don't actually live in the sea. You're not, like, out for a canoe ride and bam, wolf in the face.
That'd be scary if it was, though.
That'd be terrifying if there were actual sea wolves. Although the blue-ringed octopus is scarier than anything ever. Look it up, people. It is terrifying. It kills you by paralyzing you to death. Anyways, they're a real thing. Let's go sea wolves.
Correct.
Yes.
They are in Croatia.
Oh, there we go. Not even a coastal country. That's a thing.
I don't know if I'm saying this one correct, but the Porvoo Butchers. Butchers. I always said butchers. I know how to pronounce butchers, but not
Are they
Porvoo.
butt munchers? They kind of saying like butchers sounds like they could be butt munchers.
They
like
also
they're
use
the
hot
poor.
dog condoms.
They're the for you butt munchers. Like
So Porvoo. Porvoo butchers.
But when you translate into French, it's the pourvu or for you butt munchers. And not gonna lie, somebody munched my butt, might not hate it. Okay, I'm gonna say they're a real thing.
They are a real thing in Finland.
Yes.
So that's three of them. Three.
Okay.
Two to go. You still got a shot at 500 here.
That's right. Let's go. 500 puts you definitely in the Hall of Fame.
So this is the key one, though. You got to get this one.
Mm-hmm.
So the Zurzak Fighting Zebras.
That sounds so ridiculous. I can't even justify it. It has to be real. That has to be real.
It's fake.
Okay, good on you, Gas.
I thought that was. I tried to give you an obvious one. I'm like, fighting zebras in Europe. Like, come on.
No, but I feel like it's so over the top that it could be real. Like
I love how you had these like train of thoughts for all of them except that one, and you still got it wrong.
But that's the thing. It's so friggin' ridiculous that you're like, this has to be real. There's no way it can be fake.
But it was fake.
Okay, Ted Williams batted 400. Guys in the Hall of Fame.
All right, so our last one, probably my favorite on the board.
Okay.
The Frankfurt Redcocks. No, we don't know if they used hot dog casing as condoms or not.
Which would possibly give them a red cock. You've ruined Pinky Malinky for me, and I hate you for it because I like that show a lot. Because of all of our discussion about Pinky Malinky and sausage casing being used as a very ineffective condom, leading to magical hot dog wieners that come out of large gym owners' vaginas, that line will make sense when you watch the program. It has to be real. Just like it has to be real.
It is real. That one's real, yeah.
Yeah! I got 4 out of 10. How'd you do the Oscars again?
I don't remember. I think I did like 7 or 8 out of 10 actually in the Oscars.
Well, we all knew that my takes would be far more wrong than yours.
And I know absolutely nothing about movies, so it was like they were all complete guesses, kind of like yours were. So
no, that's fair. That's why we also had somebody interact with us and say you should talk about movies. I don't watch movies. Talk about video games next time. I'll do that.
Even then, I've played like the same video game for the last like decade. So really,
that's fair. It'll be like kids shows. I can talk about a lot of Legend of Zelda, stuff like that.
Prescription products require completion of an online medication consultation with an independent healthcare provider through the LifeMD platform and are only available if prescribed. Subscription required. Individual results may vary. Additional restrictions apply at lifemd.com. Read all warnings before using GLP-1s. Side effects may include a risk of thyroid C-cell tumors. Do not use GLP-1s if you or your family have a history of thyroid cancer.
If you've struggled for years to lose weight and have given up hope, did you know you can now access GLP-1 prescription medications through LifeMD? LifeMD is now offering eligible patients online access to GLP-1s, the breakthrough prescription medication that can help you lose body fat and weight. Listen to what people are saying.
Probably the easiest thing I've ever done. The medication comes in the mail, and it's very easy to use. I've been able to live my normal lifestyle, and I've lost 20 pounds already, and I've never felt better. It changed my life.
And here's the best part. Your insurance may cover 100% of the cost of your medication. So go to TryLifeMD.com to have your eligibility checked right now. Get started today at TryLifeMD.com. That's TryLifeMD.com.